Hello, APCSA students. I just wanted to kind of follow up with my information about next week. It's Friday, March 20th, 2020, and I had a chance yesterday to talk to about half of you with my introductory Zoom sessions, and I've sent you emails, and I'll be seeing you next week. Period 1, I'll be seeing you in the afternoon and period on Monday, and then period 2, I'll be seeing you on Tuesday morning, and period 3, I'll be talking to you through Zoom in the afternoon. I'm hoping that you're making progress on the current assignment, which is singly linked list.java, and you've got some list testers. Make sure that your output looks just like the list tester output that is shown at the bottom, right? You want to make sure it looks exactly like that. The difficult things about the list tester too are going to be the insert, the delete value, the delete index, and then swap, and then your sort. It could be a selection sort, bubble sort, whatever it's going to be. And it's due to be turned in at my Google Classroom on Tuesday by the end of the day next week. So make sure that you get that turned in. Remember, you're turning in the source code, a .java file, which is essentially a text file. And again, you'll do that in my Google Classroom. For those of you who might be finished, I do have a challenge for you. This last weekend, about 5 or 6 days ago, the Washington Post put out this very interesting article, at least I thought it was interesting, about the coronavirus and how it spreads exponentially and how we would like to flatten the curve. And it has some simulations that use some simple physics, and in some cases the physics is actually a little bit off, I noticed, but it shows how people interact, how the virus can be transferred, and it's an oversimplification of how the coronavirus and other viruses act, but it's still a pretty good little article about why the idea of shelter in place is a good one. And so I would like to offer a Jamba Juice challenge to you as my students. Now, this is not an assignment that I will be grading, but I will be at some future date, hopefully, providing 15 winners. That's 15 of the best simulations that are created from my 94, 95 APCSA students. So there's that link, and then there's a second link that talks a little bit about elastic collisions on Wikipedia and shows an example here. So especially for those of you who are interested in physics, you might read this article. And then there's also this link by a gentleman who shows some code for dealing with elastic collisions. So these all might be helpful in trying to create your own simulation. And then I've given you some starter code where the person would be a ball that would appear on the screen. And then the simulation is a collection within an STD draw. You'd need STD draw for you to create. And if you copy and paste this code, and then you could compile it. So person.java, and then simulation.java, and run the simulation. And remember, this is just starter code. So it just has some people, some persons who are kind of bouncing around this field. No collisions are detected here. So you would have to do the collision detection, and then you would have to think about the interaction and how a virus might spread. And so if we take a look at my solution for this, I actually make use of some command line arguments. So some command line arguments I provide are first, how many persons are in the simulation? What's the millisecond pause? So we can go down to 0. If I use something like 20 milliseconds between the frames, it'll be relatively slow. I mean, kind of a medium speed. And then there's a third argument, which is going to be the transfer rate of the virus. So if I use 0.2 that would be 2 out of 10 or 1 in 5. Every 5 collisions about, an infected person might infect someone who is healthy. And then there's a last argument, it's another double, that is a ratio for how many persons or people are currently sheltering in place or are fixed. And for starters, I'm going to just put a 0. There's going to be just one person who's infected to start out with. And again, there are 200 people in the simulation. The refresh rate is 20, so it's 20 milliseconds between the frames that you see that are drawn. And with approximately every fifth collision between a red ball and a black ball, that black ball will become infected. And then after 600 frames, I decided that an infected person would become well again. And so the green that you see are people that are well. So given this simulation, everybody got sick within the population, and then eventually everyone got well. There's that last red dot, which eventually becomes green. And you can try different simulations. Now, this is just a suggestion for how you might write this, and you might do something that is better. So again, I'm going to use 200 people. I'm going to do every 5 milliseconds. And this time, again, let's use a 0.2 for let's do it a little higher. So every 3 and 10. And then let's have half of the people be sheltering in place. So they would be fixed people, that are fixed position in my simulation. So if we run that, again, just one person initially is ill, and there's a 3 in 10 chance when it hits one of the black balls that it becomes red, and half of them, roughly 0.5, are fixed in space. And again, you have to do some investigation of elastic collisions. You'll notice that the energy in this simulation, the energy is not lost or gained. So, the total speed of these objects is being maintained. And again, this is a Jamba Juice challenge, so no one has to do this. If you need to focus on getting the work done for the singly linked list, that's perfectly fine. But I thought some of you might be interested in this. It's certainly a timely problem, something that we're all thinking about. And there are other things that you could add to this. If we take a look at my calendar, I'll come back and run this again, but if we take a look at the calendar, I would expect this to be submitted to me within 2 weeks' time. So not the 27th, but by the 3rd of April. So I'm going to be covering some new material. You're going to get a new assignment early next week, but some of you might be interested in tackling this problem with the code, the links that I have given you to start with, and then the starter code. If you're not interested in doing that, it's perfectly fine. You don't have to do it, but I will eventually choose as many as 15 Jamba Juice winners. Remember, that's a $5 Jamba Juice card. The rest of you focus on the singly linked list and look for Mondays. I'll populate this, and there'll be some more information about the new assignment. And I'll be talking to all of you either Monday, first period, or second and third period. I'll be talking to you on Tuesday. So I hope you all remain well. Remember, get some exercise, right? Don't just stay at home. We are under shelter in place, but you should get out for a walk. Maybe go out with mom and dad or a sibling, or take the dog for a walk. And I'll be communicating with you next week. And take good care of yourselves. Goodbye.